Over the past 10 years, we have made it feasible to scale machine learning and artificial intelligence by a million times. Naturally, the amazing achievement that we now know as ChatGPT was made possible by increasing the scope of machine learning by a million times. The emergence of artificial intelligence, AI, won't replace you. Rather, it will replace someone else. Therefore, it is our goal and responsibility to continuously improve performance as quickly as possible as the world continues to adopt and absorb artificial intelligence. Accelerated computing was created by Nvidia. The CPU is not replaced by accelerated computing. In actuality, we were essentially the only computing company that preferred to enhance the CPU rather than replace it in order to transfer computationally demanding workloads to the GPU. GPUs are what these are. When the CPU and GPU collaborate, we can benefit from the optimal performance of both processors. The CPU, which excels at sequential processing, and the GPU, which excels at parallel processing. This is accelerated computing, which is the combination of CPU and GPU, not just parallel computing. Nowadays, CPUs power the great bulk of the computers we see in our daily lives, yet the computing paradigm is changing fundamentally. However, you cannot just transfer the sequentially running CPU software to a GPU for parallel execution. We need to develop a plethora of new algorithms. These are only a few of the 350 libraries that our organization has, some of which are extremely significant. For computational lithography, use QLitho. We take computations that take weeks to complete and turn them into hours. Naturally, we could shorten the time it takes to produce chips, but more significantly, we enable the development of lithography algorithms that are far more complex, allowing us to push semiconductor physics well beyond 2 nanometers, 1 nanometer, and beyond. QLitho will thereby speed up computational lithography. Then comes QDNN, one of the most significant libraries we have ever developed. The several levels of the deep learning stack are processed by QDNN for deep neural networks. It made it possible for us to accomplish something remarkable. It facilitated a shift in software development by developing QDNN and speeding up and democratizing deep learning. This is how software was done in the past, Software 1.0. An algorithm is a function that is described by code written by software programmers. Software is used for that purpose. After you apply input, an output is predicted. CPUs are the most efficient way to run the human-written code. Software 2.0. You can send a computer a vast amount of real-world data to help it learn because computers are now so fast. On its own, it is able to anticipate the function. We refer to that as Software 2.0. Thus, machine learning has replaced coding. It now uses neural networks running on GPUs in place of code running on CPUs. Large language models are the operating system of the modern computer, and these neural networks running on GPUs are now forming a new operating system and a new method of utilizing computers. This machine learning method has shown itself to be highly scalable. It could be used for a variety of purposes. Text and languages, of course. Sound, speech, pictures, and video, of course. It might be multimodal. It could be taught the sequences of amino acids. If you have a lot of observed data, you could educate it to understand almost anything. Well, figuring out what the data meant was the first step. We were able to comprehend the words, vocabulary, syntax, grammar, and even the meaning of the words by identifying patterns and relationships just by reviewing a vast volume of online literature. Not only can we now comprehend the meaning of various data types associated with various modalities, such as words and images, but we can also connect text and video to robotics and machine articulation. Each of these pairings represents a new business, industry, or use case for an application. We are only at the beginning of the amazing Cambrian explosion of applications that have already been developed. Naturally, one of machine learning's characteristics is that the bigger the brain, the more information we can teach it, and the more intelligent it gets. It is known as the scaling law. There is ample proof that the efficacy, quality, and performance of intelligence increase with the size of the models and the volume of training data. Each year, the industry increases the size of the models by about 2 times, requiring twice as much data. As a result, we require 4 times as much computation. It takes an incredible amount of computer power to advance artificial intelligence to the next level. A new kind of inference was introduced to the globe with the announcement of ChatGPT or GPT-4. As with ChatGPT, inference occurs when you engage with the AI. ChatGPT, however, is one shot. You ask it to do something for you, and you ask it a question. In a single shot, it provides an answer to every query you pose and any prompts you give. But we are aware that thinking is frequently a multi-shot process. When we think, we may need to come up with several plans, different possible solutions, from which we select the best one. Similar to when we are thinking, we may consider the response before providing it. Introspection. One way we might approach a problem is by breaking it down into a series of steps. As we apply more and more computation, inference can perform better and better thanks to a variety of technologies that we have developed. The second scaling law is the inference scaling law. Thinking, contemplating, and planning are just as important as coming up with the following word. We will need to drive computation at unprecedented rates in order to comply with these two simultaneous scaling laws. Every time we introduce a new architecture or generation, we boost performance by X factors. However, we also apply the same X factor to reduce the power. The cost is reduced by the same X factor. Therefore, improving performance is equivalent to cutting costs. Reducing energy is the same as increasing performance. Therefore, it is our goal and responsibility to continuously improve performance as quickly as possible as the world continues to adopt and absorb artificial intelligence. AI is not a problem with chips. These artificial intelligence systems are massive. The Blackwell system is this. This complete system is called Blackwell, which is also the name of a GPU. The GPU itself is remarkable. 2 Blackwells pass away. With 104 billion transistors produced by TSMC at their most sophisticated 4nm node, each Blackwell die is the biggest chip ever produced. Right in that middle, right there, that line, that seam, 2 of these Blackwell dies are linked together by a low-energy link that operates at 10 terabytes per second. 10 terabytes per second, with thousands of links between the 2 dies. 8 HBM3E memories from Micron and SK Hynix connect it, and their combined speed is 8 terabytes per second. And that's because this system isn't able to function on its own. What does that signify? In comparison to your price target, is 100 your bull case? The way we've done it, Paler, we see it as a base case and a bull case, and as they execute, you may eventually lift the price target when they present the numbers. Paler, in my opinion, has to be displayed as a sort of range, including base and bull case. And if you think the bull case is 100, should investors be increasing their positions at present levels due to the beta? Or ought they to pause? It's an excellent question in light of the stocks. Since I think AI is going in the wrong direction, we think this is just going to be a table pounder. Because when you think about it, and Alex, you know, is really knowledgeable about AI, I believe that if you really see where this is going with AIP, this stock could be many times higher than it is now, which has been our call all year. It's a table pounder, and this moniker, in my opinion, still serves to support its value. Paler's entry into the commercial sector and collaboration with private enterprises is one of the factors that have contributed to its rise. Hey Alex, however, I would like to return to you. How do you feel about this consortium's efforts to enter the defense industry while discussing Paler, SpaceX, OpenAI, and Anduril? Do you think these companies, Paler already has a strong defense business, represent anything in the new, quote-unquote, defense industry as we move ahead into 2025? In my opinion, it's a very remarkable chance. In many ways, this is how America will recruit the greatest and brightest technical minds to develop technologies that can be widely used to combat our enemies. Paler's role involves organizing all of these things and acting as the glue that holds everything together. For SpaceX, it obviously means establishing dominance in space, and of course, Anduril's supremacy in the drone market. Additionally, it entails using the greatest AI models available to OpenAI.